next demo of REST-Point. On our last demo, we showed how you could add in path parameters, and we added in some parameters for paging. On this demo, we're going to sort of review the documentation options because we're now getting a little API here. We have a few paths, we have a resource, we had some feedback, and now we want to be able to see what kind of documents can we output here. So we've already used the OpenAPI v3. You've seen that throughout our other demos. It just generates the text. I mean, there's an example of OpenAPI 3. Now, one thing about our documents are any of the documents that we show here, you can actually see the script and can edit it if you'd like. So if the OpenAPI 3 that we generate isn't something that you'd like to, or if it's something you'd like to see some changes on, well, you can certainly come in, hit create, import the current OpenAPI, and now make your changes however you want, and then add a document calling it my OpenAPI doc. So because OpenAPI, you can have many different approaches to it, and the way that the document is scripted, you certainly are free to do that. Now for other documents, it's the same idea. We created default documents, but each one of them can be edited. You can read the script for each one. So this one generates the Swagger UI, which is exactly our try API that we've done several times. Guideline checks is a bunch of rules that we put in. It's a PDF document. The idea being in your group, if you have a bunch of rules, let's say you don't want paths to use plurals, you want to make sure that URLs are specified, check that paths have descriptions. You can now start putting in all your own rules of how you want your APIs designed, so that before an API is signed off, it has to pass through all the guideline checks. And we give about a dozen different rules in there, but you're free to edit that and add whoever you like. There is a little knack to the script, but I'm sure it's sort of a low-code script that you can pick up pretty quickly. Same with the rest. Redocly, that's another option of a UI similar to Swagger. Postman downloads a JSON file that you can then import into Postman, so that instantly all your API calls are sitting there that you can hit send requests straight to your REST point. GraphQL generates the schema documents. We haven't talked a lot about GraphQL, but that will be in future demos. And design review is another example of, it's another document that typically you want to sit down and have a designer review, and with everyone to review. Here's an example review document that we have here. So you'll see there's our favorite stock, there's our resource with the properties. That's an example of the JSON. So if you say, it looks good, but I'd like to add some stuff to it, you certainly can. You can just come down and take a look at the document down here for design review, and feel free to add in whatever you'd like. So you'll see here, adding in the script, just set the content type, and you should be able to create whatever output documents you would like. And even create them from scratch. We allow you to use ours as a baseline and edit it, but you're free to certainly create one from scratch. So that concludes this demo, where we just wanted to explain a little bit about once your APIs are coming together, what can you generate from this document? Because all the way through this, all your other deployed APIs are still working, all documented. And when this is sent off to, this prototype is sent for development and to be sent into production, this still can be used as a sandbox for documentation purposes, and all these documents can be constantly maintained, so that it's a quick place to always be able to generate documentation, so it doesn't become stale. And that concludes this demo. Thank you.